Hey everyone, Spilled Apple Juice aka Apple Juice here with the first speed paint on my channel. Huzzah! In this video, I'm drawing some of my old warrior OCs from back when I was a child. And since this video has commentary, I'm going to be telling you about the OCs. If you don't care to hear me yap, then in the description will be a link to the speed paint without commentary. So, I won't lie, this is completely unscripted, and I'm just going to kind of go off on tangents about these characters. So, the first cat that I will talk about is Leafclaw. She is from Thunder Clan. As you can see, she is, I suppose you would consider her a calico. She wasn't one of my first OCs. We'll see my very first OC a little bit later, but she is the sister of two of the other cats in the speed paint. I will be drawing them later. Sunrise, who is an orange cat, and Snowheart, who is a white cat with yellow. And a lot of these designs have been changed. I will say Leafclaw, Redpaw, and Dawnash are actually the only ones whose designs I haven't updated. But everyone else in this video does get updated. So Shadestrike, who is going to be the gray smiling cat, Barktooth, who is going to be the brown frowny cat, and previously mentioned Sunrise and Snowheart are going to be slight redesigns, but keeping with their key characteristics. I actually redesigned Shadestrike a while ago because if you read the description, I finally got a toyhouse account, and that's why I'm focusing on these OCs again, because I'm trying to get them all off of Warriors Amino and onto here. Well, onto toyhouse, that is. So, in the original story, Leafclaw, Shadestrike, who was originally Shadeclaw, but we had to change his name because I'm not having Leafclaw and Shadeclaw, that's silly. So Leafclaw, Shadestrike, and Barktooth were all the evil cats of the story. And as any child who just got done reading Omen of Stars would be doing, I was creating my own story following that same path, where those three cats were training in the Dark Forest, and they were gonna help the Dark Forest take over the clans. Oh no! So the premise of the story was kind of the Dark Forest chose three cats that they wanted to take over the forest, and that's obviously Leafclaw, Shadestrike, and Barktooth. And StarClan figures out this plan, and they're like, we'll pick our own three cats, which is actually originally Redpaw, Snowheart, and Dawnash. Redpaw gets found out by they're siblings. I should mention that Leafclaw, Redpaw, Snowheart, and Sunrise are all siblings in Thunder Clan. And I don't know how I intended them to find out, but Leafclaw finds out that Redpaw is supposed to, like, take her down or something. And so she has Barktooth kill him. And he goes to StarClan, and StarClan's like, oh crap, what do we do? One of the prophecy cats is dead. We'll just pick his sister. And so then Sunrise just kind of gets thrust into the role of the prophecy. There's no repercussions for this. Like, they don't go, oh, this might end badly because she wasn't originally who we picked out for the prophecy. Let's not get into the logic of child me. Dawnash was really my main focus because Dawnash is actually the first character I created, and Sunrise was the second. And Dawnash was actually my whole entire, I guess you would call it persona on Warriors Amino. He was the whole entire face of my account. He was my profile picture. He has the most art of him out of any of my OCs ever. And he is a River Clan cat. He's the only main good cat that's not in Thunder Clan. which is so funny for me because as a kid I was like, oh, I don't like ThunderClan. ThunderClan gets too much attention. I like RiverClan more. And then made 3 of the Prophecy Cats from ThunderClan. And then also had a villain from ThunderClan. I am, for fun, rewriting this story, and I am actually going to do a video on that, so stay tuned for that if you like Warrior Cats OC's content, I guess. But basically, it would all culminate in this final battle at the Gathering Island, where the Dark Force would attack, and then Sunrise would kill Leafclaw, and Dawn Ash would kill Shade Strike, and Snowheart would kill Barktooth, and then everyone would be happy. Be a happy, happy time. So I'm changing that. I'm changing that in the news story because no. And again, I could talk about it now, but I'm not because I'm gonna milk this for content. So anyway, other things about these characters, something I forget all the time is that Sunrise is actually, and Redpaw, Sunrise and Redpaw are actually Snowheart and Leafclaw's half-siblings. And I'm actually gonna keep that with their characters. I was going back and forth and I was thinking, what am I gonna do? Do I keep them half-siblings? Why not just make them full siblings? And I was trying to think logically, how would the half-sibling thing work? Because then, you know, one of the litters, you know, 2 of them would have to be older than the other 2. And I just didn't really vibe with that, with how the thing is changing. So, I did come up with a solution to that, where Snowheart and Leafclaw are a part of a litter, per usual as they were, and Sunrise and Redpaw are a part of a litter, as they were. I don't know why I'm re-explaining that, but they're staying that way, basically. And I've come up with a explanation for how to keep them the same age, which again I will be going over in a future video when I'll be readjusting this drawing to fit with the new vision that I have. I guess spoilers for my OC story that you totally care so much about, and you're really upset that I'm spoiling it. But I am going to change Snowheart, and Redpaw will stay one of the Prophecy Cats, but he's not going to be a main focal point like in this picture. Basically, I'm changing the Prophecy to involve all 4 clans, and I'm considering, because I stopped reading Warrior Cats like near the end of Vision of Shadows. I was just starting to get a little bit too old, I guess. And I didn't think it was cool anymore, you know. So I left. This story was originally made before Vision of Shadows, and so SkyClan wasn't back at the Lake Territories then. So I am considering rewriting it to have in SkyClan, but I don't know. So for now, there's going to be 4 Prophecy Cats that are alive, and each one is going to come from a different clan instead of having majority ThunderClan. And I'm adding a 4th Evil Cat because we already have ThunderClan, we already have a ShadowClan, we already have a... ThunderClan, RiverClan, ShadowClan. Those are the 3 Evil Cats. So then, if we have 1 ThunderClan hero, or 1 RiverClan hero already, we kick Snowheart out of the group. Who invited her? Am I right? We kick her out, and Redpaw is just the cat, the Prophecy Cat that died, and I'll probably do something more with that concept. We have a WindClan cat and a ShadowClan cat. And then a WindClan cat there will be a new WindClan cat to be evil with the other gang. And I have a different plan for the story as well, but again, another video, another time. I also wanted to, I'm gonna pop the old designs of some of the characters up on screen now, hopefully. Me editing, do that, when I say so. So this is Shade Strike's old design when he was Shade Claw. The heterochromia was not staying. Sorry, wait, no. That's not, yeah, no, that's heterochromia. I have partial heterochromia, so. Sorry, guys. I'm a little silly in the brain. But, the heterochromia left. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I would do it on another OC, probably. I've already made, like, my first new Warriors OC in, like, years. So, in the future, am I willing to make a new OC with heterochromia? Sure. Is it gonna be Shade Strike? Absolutely not. He was also a lighter gray, and you'll see here in a moment, he had the exact same markings as Barktooth. He was just smaller, gray Barktooth with heterochromia. And speaking of Barktooth, here's his old design. Barktooth was such a nothing sandwich. He was kind of just the slightly older cat of the evil group, and he wasn't like actually evil, you guys. He was just misunderstood. But he was also the one that did like all of the killing and chased. I don't know why. I was looking back at some of the old art, and there's like a picture I have of him chasing Sunkit, which confuses me so much. And Sunkit obviously being Sunrise as a kid. I don't know what I was cooking. I can gather small story tidbits from the little short stories that I wrote, but otherwise, I don't know what I was cooking. I do not know what I was cooking. But, speaking of Sunrise, here is Sunrise's old design. Yeah, she was the second warrior cat I designed, ever. And I actually had a poll on Warriors Amino of who was going to be my main character, Dawn Ash or Sunrise. And Dawn Ash won, thankfully, because can we all agree that Sunrise's old design is ugly? Because I think it's ugly. Don't try and go in the compliments and be like, no, dude, you're wrong. Your Sunrise design originally was actually pretty cool. Don't do that. Don't. Do not lie to me. Do not lie to little child me, okay? He was insane. He was a menace. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. But there's a little bit of charm to it, I will admit, just because I was a child. But then I guess the only other cat that's gotten a redesign is her half-sister, Snowheart. Snowheart's design was a little less egregious, and you'll probably see here in the video, I'm not watching this while I record this, so it will eventually pop up. You might notice me looking at pictures of white, and I'm going to use the word yellow, just because that's the only thing I'm not calling the cat blonde. It just feels weird to me. But you'll see me looking up white and yellow cats so I can see if Snowheart's original design made any sense, and I eventually find a little cat with blue eyes and yellow markings that's mainly white that isn't, well, I think they're a tabby still, but I find them and I go, okay, that's Snowheart. So instead of Snowheart having the yellow shoulders, she will now have the yellow top of the head. And I feel like with the redesigns, I kind of make them more obviously sisters, you know? They all have that top of the head marking, but keep it different a little bit. You know, Sunrise is a mask, pattern, leaf claw. I don't know what pattern you would consider that. She's got like a bottom mask, and then like the top of the head. I don't know what you would call that. And then Snowheart doesn't really have a mask, it's just like the top of the head. Again, I have no idea what you would call that. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the professional at cat patterns, but I digress. So yeah, that's basically all that's changed. I might also, before I do the video on the updated story and have fun with that, I might try to do a better video talking about the old lore and maybe drawing some scenes, doing some redraws, because I did draw art for the original scenes. But yeah, that's really all I can think of to talk about these old characters. I feel like I've basically explained everything that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, I can open up Amino right now and tell you even more stuff that I don't remember, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Okay, so like I said about me probably jumping back in to talk more about stuff, I was listening to the audio and watching, and I realized, hey, there's more stuff I can talk about. First thing, as you guys might remember, is I mentioned Shadestrike's original name was Shadeclaw, and his original design looked like Barktooth. I just think that's funny. He was such a, like, Barktooth was a nothing sandwich, but Shadestrike, truly all he ever had going for him was that he was super comically murderous and evil, and he just looked like Barktooth and had the same exact suffix as Leafclaw. I think that's funny, especially considering that I mentioned Dawn Ash was my main focus. Shadestrike was a huge part of Dawn Ash's story, but really the only thing that Shadestrike ever did was, like, steal Dawn Ash's crush. And I want to go more, like, into that when I'm actually, like, rewriting this story, but it was so... I think that's so funny that Shadestrike was just kind of the wombo combo of Leafclaw and Barktooth, and was, like, hyper evil, murderous, and the worst thing, Dawn Ash always hated him, but not because he thought that Shadeclaw was evil, he just hated him because he stole his girl. I was a funny guy. I was a very funny guy. I guess this also brings me to, like, talking about the personalities of these characters. Very basic. Barktooth, like I said, he was a nothing sandwich. He kind of was just there, and he was kind of chill, but not. He didn't really have much of a personality. He was just kind of there. Like I said, Shadestrike was just comically evil and murderous, and not really in a good way, like in the middle schooler way, where it's like, haha, I'll have my OC be crazy and deranged, because I'm so crazy. Leafclaw probably had a bit more of a character, of a personality, but I don't really think she had any reason to be doing what she was doing. There was just no reason for her to be evil. Like, Barktooth, I don't remember. I feel like I had a reason for Barktooth. And Shadestrike was obviously just, like, evil by nature, but Leafclaw was just like, oh, we need another evil cat. Leafclaw. The same goes for the good guys. Sunrise was, I feel like, kind of like early Squirrelflight. I don't know how Squirrelflight's character has been lately, but, like, Squirrelflight, oh my gosh, how do I explain Squirrelflight? I just remember her being high energy and really confident, and that's what I remember about Squirrelflight. I'm rereading the books right now, alright? I just started on, which book is this? I just started Midnight. all of the books just fell. Midnight just fell. I just started rereading all the books, so, but yeah. She was basically like Squirrel Flight, but a little tamer. And also, not Squirrel Flight. Makes Squirrel Flight's cool. Red Paw was just sad. He was just depressed, you know? He was in a prophecy and then he got killed. Which, I mean, that's fair, man. That's fair. I don't blame you for being sad. He would probably remain sad. In the rewrite. Snowheart was your average she-cat in Warriors. Kind, loving, nice, very sweet. It'll probably stay the same. I'm thinking of changing her to become a medicine cat in the story. I don't know. I feel like I could slightly do more with her there, and then have some reason for her to be relevant. That doesn't make her be in the prophecy. And then Don Ash, because I focused on him so much, quote unquote, he has a little bit more of a personality. He is just a smug asshole. And I'm keeping that, and that is why he is smirking in this picture, is because he is just, my silly, smug asshole, little cat man. Which I never wrote him as smug. I always said that he was smug, but I could never write him as smug. I don't know. I don't like smug people, but I thought it would be fun for him, and then I didn't follow through with it, so gotta be better at that. But yeah, okay, I think that's all the yapping I have to do now. Truly, this is the end of me yapping. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you for watching. Stay till the end. Like and subscribe, and hit the bell, and comment your feelings. Yeah. Goodbye. I do have one more thing to talk about, and that is that I dislike strongly the rendering, specifically the highlights, lighting, whatever, of that I did for Don Ash. Cause in his new description, I wrote him as a shiny cat, and I don't like how the lighting looks. So, just wanted to bring that up. Okay, that's it. you for watching. Please enjoy the rest of the video. Please stick around. Subscribe if you like the art. And yeah, just tap the bell or click the bell or whatever so that you can get notified when I do make that video of the updated lore. I know that you guys just love my OCs already. And that you guys are already obsessed and you're like, whoa, we need more of this. We need more of this. So subscribe and click the bell so you can get updated on that. All right. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.